Let's be real. Tourists love flocking to the same overcrowded spots. I'm talking Times Square on New Year's Eve. It's like a human sardine can. People packed in tighter than my Aunt Helen's luggage. Hollywood Boulevard, where you're more likely to step on a discarded Spider-Man costume than see an actual celebrity. And don't even get me started on Disney World. You need a fast pass just to use the bathroom. But what if I told you there are hidden gems in the US that most people don't even know exist? Places so beautiful, so serene, they make your Instagram feed look like an old pair of sweatpants. Forget the crowds. In this video, we're uncovering 5 mind-blowing US destinations that are criminally underrated. Places so stunning you won't believe they exist. Stick around, because number 5 will change the way you see America. Alright folks, buckle up because our first stop takes us to North Cascades National Park, a place so jaw-droppingly beautiful it's been called the American Alps. We're talking towering peaks, glaciers that'll give you chills just looking at them, and more shades of blue than a Smurf convention. Yet for some reason, almost no one visits. This park gets fewer visitors than the Grand Canyon gets in 2 days. I mean, come on people, get your priorities straight. So if you're tired of fighting for Instagram spots and getting elbowed by strangers every 5 seconds, this is your dream destination. Summer is your best bet. Think wildflowers blooming everywhere you look, lakes so still they look like giant mirrors, and that perfect 75-degree weather. You know, the kind of weather that makes you want to wear shorts and pretend you're not sweating. Make sure you drive the North Cascades Highway. It's like a real-life postcard at every turn. Seriously, you'll be pulling over every 5 minutes to snap a picture. And trust me, your Instagram followers will thank you. Speaking of Instagram-worthy spots, you gotta hike to Diablo Lake Overlook. This ain't your grandma's lake, folks. We're talking about that insane glacier blue water that looks like it was photoshopped. And when it's time to rest your weary bones, head to the nearby town of Winthrop. This place is a wild, West-style village straight out of a cowboy movie. You half expect Clint Eastwood to saunter in, order a whiskey, and challenge someone to a duel. Seriously, folks, North Cascades National Park is the perfect escape. Just you, the mountains, and some seriously underrated beauty. Okay, get this. Wisconsin has islands? Yep, you heard that right. And these aren't your typical Midwestern let's grill brats by the lake kind of islands. We're talking about the Apostle Islands, folks, and they're straight up magical. Think sea caves that look like something out of a pirate movie, secret beaches where you can pretend you're stranded with a volleyball named Wilson, and lighthouses that'll make you want to write a sappy romance novel. This place is like Hawaii meets the Midwest with a little bit of Scandinavian charm thrown in for good measure. Now, if you're the adventurous type who loves paddling and exploring, summer is your jam. Picture this. You're kayaking through sea caves, the water's so clear you can see the bottom, sunlight filtering in and creating this otherworldly glow. It's enough to make you believe in mermaids. But wait, it gets even cooler. In winter, those same caves freeze over, transforming into these Narnia-style ice castles. I'm talking icicles hanging from the ceiling, frozen waterfalls, the whole shebang. It's like stepping into a fairy tale, except you don't have to worry about getting eaten by a wicked witch. And if you're really lucky, you might even catch the northern lights dancing across the night sky. I mean, come on, does it get any more magical than that? Now there are 21 islands in total, but only one you can actually spend the night on, Madeline Island. It's got cozy cabins, charming shops, and that laid-back island vibe that makes you forget about your worries. Oh, and while you're there, do yourself a favor and try the local fish fry, because Wisconsin takes their fried fish very seriously. We're talking crispy golden brown perfection. Look, I get it, you've probably never heard of the Apostle Islands, but trust me, once you visit, you'll be bragging about this place for life. Chapter 3. Alright, let's talk Colorado, folks. You know, the state that's basically one giant postcard of majestic mountains? But did you know it's also home to a massive desert? That's right, I'm talking about Great Sand Dunes National Park, a place that'll make you do a double take. We're talking about the tallest sand dunes in North America, some of these bad boys towering 750 feet high. That's taller than a stack of pancakes made by 100 grandmas, competing for the blue ribbon at the county fair. And the view? Don't even get me started. You've got these epic dunes stretching out in front of you, like something out of Lawrence of Arabia. And then bam, snow-capped mountains rising in the distance. It's a sight that'll make you question if you accidentally wandered onto the set of a sci-fi movie. But the best part? You can actually sandboard or sled down these dunes. It's like you're in Dubai, except way cheaper, and you don't have to worry about getting lost in a sandstorm. Now here's a pro tip. Go at sunset. The crowds thin out, the temperature cools down a bit, and the dunes turn this magical shade of gold and pink. It's like Mother Nature's own personal light show. Just a word of warning though, bring plenty of water. This is the desert, folks, and it gets hot out here. We're talking about the kind of heat that makes you sweat just thinking about going outside. And when it's time to refuel after a long day of dune surfing, head to the nearby town of Alamosa. This place is known for its legendary Mexican food. And trust me, after a day in the desert, you'll be craving some serious tacos. So there you have it, folks. Great Sand Dunes National Park. It's a desert adventure, but without the 20-hour flight to the Middle East. Chapter 4. Okay, close your eyes for a second and imagine this. A beach with no high-rise hotels, no screaming kids building sandcastles, no crowds. Just you, the sound of waves crashing, and wild horses. Sound too good to be true? Well, folks, that's Cumberland Island. This little slice of paradise is tucked away off the coast of Georgia, and it's like stepping back in time. Only 300 people a day are allowed on the island, which means you'll have plenty of space to roam and soak up the peace and quiet. Seriously, you're more likely to run into a wild horse than another human being. And speaking of wild horses, these majestic creatures are everywhere. You'll see them roaming freely, grazing in the meadows, taking a dip in the ocean. It's like something out of a dream. But that's not all this island has to offer. We're talking ancient ruins that'll make you feel like Indiana Jones, Spanish moss-covered trees that look like they're straight out of a Southern Gothic novel, and miles of untouched white sand beaches. Now, getting to Cumberland Island is half the adventure. You'll need to take a ferry from St. Mary's, Georgia, a charming little town that's worth exploring in its own right. And if you really want to do this island getaway right, you gotta stay at Grayfield Inn. This historic mansion is where JFK's daughter got married. It's got that old-world charm, with elegant rooms, delicious food, and a front porch swing that's just begging for you to sit back, relax, and sip some sweet tea. Oh, and one more thing, bring a bike. Cumberland Island has 0 cars, which only adds to its charm. It's like the real-life version of a fantasy novel, where time moves slower and the only thing you have to worry about is which secluded beach you're going to explore next. Chapter 5. All right, folks, we've saved the best for last. Ever heard of the Enchanted Circle? No? Well, that's exactly why you need to go. This 84-mile loop in New Mexico is like a greatest hits compilation of all things awesome. We're talking towering mountains, vast deserts, charming towns, ancient ruins. It's like Mother Nature threw a dart at a map of the coolest places on Earth and said, let's put it all right here. The Enchanted Circle takes you through some of the most stunning scenery in the Southwest. You'll drive through high mountain passes where the air is crisp and the views will take your breath away. You'll wander through ghost towns that'll make you want to dust off your cowboy boots and pan for gold. And you'll experience the unique culture and history of New Mexico, a state that's unlike anywhere else in America. One of the highlights of the Enchanted Circle is Taos, a town that's famous for its artsy vibe and those insane mountain views. Seriously, the mountains here are so ever-present, you feel like you could reach out and touch them. And speaking of those mountains, if you're visiting in the fall, get ready for a real treat. The trees explode into colors that'll make your camera cry tears of joy. We're talking fiery reds, golden yellows, and vibrant oranges. It's like stepping into a Bob Ross painting. Now, while you're on the Enchanted Circle, there are a few must-see spots you don't want to miss. First up, the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, one of the highest bridges in the US, and a total adrenaline rush to drive across. Then there's Eagle Nest Lake, a beautiful spot for fishing, boating, or just chilling by the water and soaking up the peace and quiet. And finally, no trip to the Enchanted Circle is complete without a visit to Taos Pueblo. This 1,000-year-old Native American village is still standing today, and it's a powerful reminder of the rich history and culture of this region. So there you have it, folks, the Enchanted Circle. It's called that for a reason. It's pure magic. And there you have it, folks, 5 incredible destinations right here in the good old US of A. Forget the same old tourist traps. These hidden gems are where real adventure begins. So which one are you adding to your bucket list? The American Alps of the North Cascades? Wisconsin's secret island paradise? How about sandboarding in Colorado or wild horses on a private island in Georgia? Or maybe you're ready to be enchanted by New Mexico? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you love these hidden gems, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more epic travel finds.